Down block.
I know my neighbors
Sprawl.
have done this to me,
Sprawl.
and if they think it was bad
Keep the sprawl and
before,
back
just
up.
wait till they see me now.
It's a bit too late for all of that now. Should have done that before the fight. We're coming off a mad card in the Sphere. I thought there was some sick fights on there, especially going to be focusing on the Sean O'Malley versus Merab fight and how that went. I think it was a good fight, but it went exactly as expected. Sean O'Malley was dominated by the grappling exchanges and couldn't really deal with Merab's wrestling. After the fight, we saw Sean O'Malley post this, and I thought, you know what, he understands what he does wrong and he's going to come back next time working on all his mistakes. He said, overpromise, underdelivered, sorry, love you guys. Makes sense. Then he uploads this, round 5 I won, I am the champ, God is good, first, third and fifth rounds I won, defending belt against Umar in Vegas, June, July. And you see, what do you call it, whatever you call it, where Twitter corrects your mistakes and says all three judges scored round 1, 10-9 in favour of Merab. Now, do I think Sean O'Malley won these rounds? To be honest, when I watched the fight at first, I gave round 1 and 5 to Sean O'Malley. I gave round 3 to Merab, but most people gave round 3 and 5 to Sean. So, I mean, could we make the argument that he won round 1? I think if we based it off damage alone, there is an argument there. Because he landed the more shots, I think, in round 1. Damage causing shots. Merab, he takes him down, didn't do much. Landed a few knees. But other than that, I think Sean O'Malley did win round 1. Especially since I've noticed judges have been scoring damage a lot more than just ground control. That's why I gave it to Sean. But, Merab is a round stealing machine. He gets a takedowns, doesn't do much, just works off of control time and wins rounds like that. He just steals rounds, and he did that again. Now, did Sean O'Malley get robbed? No. I think it was to say that he won, I don't know, it's just hard. But we'll analyse the fight anyway, and we'll make up our mind towards the end. Now, before anyone calls me a Sean O'Malley fanboy, I think he has had the easiest ride to a world champion fight in the UFC current roster. We see down here he's had some he lost to Marlon Vera first of all, and then he's had some three bangers here, and then automatically he got the Peter Yan fight. Did he deserve it? I don't think so, but he was already a very hyped up fighter by that point, and obviously clearly Dana White was trying to promote him. So does it make sense financially, business wise? Yeah, it makes sense to make him the world champion because he will draw in a lot of the younger audience that Dana White wants. And then he fought let's not forget that I think this fight personally, and a lot of people also, that Peter versus Peter Yan, it was clearly a robbery. Peter Yan won, but Sean O'Malley somehow came out with a victory. But whatever, Sean O'Malley versus Aljo for the title shot, I felt like it was an early stoppage. It was a wicked banger of a shot, just counter punch, amazing, and that's what he's best at. Caught Aljo as he was coming in, but I felt like the fight was stopped early. I feel like Aljo was still there, and if he let it go on for a few more seconds, it probably, I don't know, would have just reset it or something. I don't think Aljo was out for it to be called a stoppage. And then his last fight, Marlon Vera, his second last fight versus Marlon Vera, that's the best I think we've seen Sean O'Malley. Amazing performance. I've analysed that fight, so go watch that. And then obviously his fight here. So yeah, I feel like he's had ultimate Dana White privilege to get the title shot. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. I think he's got so much potential, but he's not very well rounded and he's got a lot to learn even then. But I think he's sick. I think he's one of my favourite fighters on the roster at the moment. Quick shout out before we start. How good the Sphere looked. Some sick fights. I think it was a proper good card. Some bangers of fights. Some bangers on that card. But I wish they showed the background a bit more. It would have looked like some sort of street fighter contest or something. But yeah, altogether a very good show. He's got to stop this now. I mean, he's lost. He's got to stop it. hopefully next fight he doesn't do it again. I know from his tweet he's definitely going to do it again, but because he somehow thinks he hasn't lost. But yeah, he's got to stop this crap. Start off with round 1, and this round kind of summarizes the whole fight. You see Sean O'Malley comes out, controls the center of the octagon, plants his feet, keeps Merab at bay. Merab, he was just circling a lot of the time, both sides, and just keeping away from his punches. And one thing you notice is that Merab didn't really want to engage, especially with the boxing. He was throwing some decent leg kicks, but he didn't really want to box after probably seeing what happened to his boy Aljo, getting caught coming in like that. And obviously Sean O'Malley's a more crisper boxer. Yeah, he was landing some decent body shots, and that's what he had to do. I feel like one mistake that Sean O'Malley made is that he weren't throwing combos. I wanted to see him throw a couple body shots and then go to the top, because what these body shots do is that they stop, or I mean, because he's already planted and he's lower down, it's harder for Merab to shoot him for takedowns. That's what you had to do. But he was throwing these little single shots, which were landing, which were, I mean, I'm sure they were effective, but I feel like if you threw them with more volume, forget the power, forget they even landing, and just switched up to the head and back to the body, I feel like if he was just fighting up and down, it would have been way more effective. I think because we saw in the first round, Merab couldn't really shoot in for the first like 2 minutes or whatever it was, 2-3 minutes, because of the body shots and also Sean O'Malley's movement. Here we see something that he does very well. I think it was here. Yeah. Oh, it's hard to see, but you see him backing up, and then what you see is he will shift to the right and then immediately shift to the left, and he does his little fake where he moves his head, and then he comes in and throws a lovely shot straight to Merab's chin. And that's what you had to do for the whole. That's what you had to do. Fire angles, just keep him at bay, keep him guessing, unconventional shots. But by the second minute of the fight, well, 3 minutes in, he leaves himself, stands a bit too upright, and you see Merab goes in for the shot, and this is what bloody lost Sean O'Malley the fight. These takedowns, how he would give him up so easily. His hands are just resting on top of Merab's shoulders. Should be trying to, I mean, from my basic understanding, should at least try going for them underhooks or something, get some control, but no, gets backed up. I mean, look how much space there is. It's not even a good shot by Merab. Backs him up to the cage, and then look at this. Look where his hands are. What's his hands doing over here? Like, from what I know, should have gone for the whizzer at least. That stops him from taking his back. Next thing you know, doesn't get the whizzer, takes his back. Even DC, he's here, says he gave that up very easily, and then gets tripped and just taken down and then controlled for like a minute or so. But one thing is, he doesn't do any damage, so this takedown here can't really win him the round. I think he does get another takedown, but not doing much damage and getting up within a minute. I mean, yeah, it is quite a lot of control time, but getting up without having taken much damage, what does that really count for? And that's the problem I have with these takedowns, is like, if they don't do much, then why do they score so highly? Like, why can someone like outbox you for a whole round and you get one takedown and you win the round? I understand when it's like Khabib level takedowns and he's smashing his opponent's face in, I understand that, but if no damage is really being caused except a couple knees to the back of the thigh or something like that, why does that win the rounds? I think takedowns in itself shouldn't really score much. It's the position that you gain after, if you're looking like a threat, if you're looking like you're gonna get sub, or you're controlling him in a way where you're gonna rain down some damage on him, then yes, that should score highly. But the way Merab gets his takedowns, I don't know. I feel like it shouldn't score that much, especially in round 1. And that's why I gave round 1 to Sean O'Malley, because the first half of the round, he was the one that was landing the punches, he was landing the shots. I'm not saying they were super effective or super damaging, but I mean, he did land the better shots and cause them more damage. He gets up after a minute or whatever, lands some weak shots. I mean, here it looks like it's like a solid front kick to the stomach, but or to the rib rather. But I mean, you can see he just looked lazy when he was throwing them. Throws a couple more shots, but here you even see Merab starts boxing. After that takedown, you see Merab gained a lot of confidence, and Sean O'Malley just looked like he was a beaten man from there. Starts throwing some lazy shots. Even Merab starts boxing here and throwing his own left hooks and catches Sean O'Malley a couple times. Yeah, he's pushing forward. Sean O'Malley, you see him retreating. One other thing that Sean O'Malley was doing this round is that when he would retreat, he would circle off. I think he stopped that after he was taken down, but that's one thing he was doing very well. And he was switching stances, and these are things that will just cause problems for Merab when it comes to the takedowns. And that's what he was doing the first half of the first round, which was working well. And if he was to do that for the whole fight, there's no question that he would have won. But here you see Merab gains a lot of confidence, backs Sean O'Malley up, and then goes in for another takedown. Like over swings, I think he threw a shot. He was catching Sean O'Malley a lot when he would go in for these punches. One thing that I thought would happen is that when Sean O'Malley goes for the body kicks, that's when Merab will be catching his leg and going for takedowns. But he was waiting for Sean O'Malley to plant his feet when he throws punches, and then he would go for the takedown, which was working for him because he used his punching to set up his takedowns. So you see he goes in for another takedown, very super easy. Just what do you call it? I forgot what you call this takedown. Just grabs a single leg, runs the pipe. I think it's called. Gets him down again. Simple, easy takedown. I think he goes for a guillotine here, but it wasn't really like in. So I don't know if I'll count it as a submission attempt. But yeah, that was round one. Round one, like I said, there is an argument. Merab ended it a lot better. He ended it on top. Yes, but throughout the whole round, who caused the most damage? I would have to give it to Sean O'Malley, to be honest. Now, round two. Sean O'Malley, just like I said, after that takedown, after round one, he just looked like he was defeated. I feel like what he was doing in the first half of the first round, if he just continued, it would have been, a much better performance. I think he lands a shot or something on Merab, and it backs him up a little bit. But then see again, Sean O'Malley plants his feet, and then you see Merab times that takedown perfectly, goes in and just double leg, easy double leg, simple, straightforward. And then you see here, I think Sean O'Malley was grabbing his gloves or something like that, and then Herb Dean stopped it and then reset them, but he was trying to set up a triangle. But one thing is, Merab did get the takedown, but he didn't do much off of it. He couldn't really he couldn't really pass his guard or anything. But yeah, control time here, I guess. If it's such a close round, then, or if nothing's really happening, then yeah, you give it to the guy who's on top and who's controlling. If not much damage is happening around, I get that. But yeah, let's carry on. You see here, got his back, lands a few good shots here, backs him up. Towards the end of the round two, he just controls him the whole round. Yeah, for sure, Merab won this round and starts giving him a couple of kisses to the back, and then even gets Sean O'Malley gets up. Merab thinks the round's stopped, round's finished, with couple seconds left, and then Sean O'Malley catches him. So round two, yeah, for sure, Merab won. Now round three, Merab starts off pretty well, because Sean O'Malley just looked like he was discouraged. Like, he just looked like he didn't have any fight left. Gets taken down easily again and gets controlled. Yeah, just controlled. But he does break out. And he was breaking out as a lot of these takedowns. Like, he was just scrambling out of them. See here, he pushes his arms off and just gets out of that takedown. And then what happens is Sean O'Malley ends the round. The second half was a much better. Lands some serious shots, backs O'Malley up, backs Merab up. He was using his fakes, and Merab was biting on these fakes hard, because you'll see him, like, he'll just fake and look at his body from a fake. He'll back up all the way. He'll react to them very badly, and yeah, Sean O'Malley was landing some nice shots. Look at that, knees, unconventional. I don't think it landed clean, but like how the Marlon Vera's one did, but was landing. and these unconventional shots, when Sean O'Malley did decide to throw them, were landing. And if he carried on doing that, it would have caused him problems the whole fight. You see here, he was able to pull his legs out of the takedowns. I think in the 4th round, I think it was, or was it the 3rd round? It might have been the 3rd round, I can't remember. But he was doing that a lot. It was just when Merab would reach in for these singles, he was just able to pull his leg out easily. And then ends the round amazing. This is what Sean O'Malley had to do for the whole fight, and this was him at his best again. You see him, comes in, fakes the knee, lands like a hook or something, and resets a little bit. Well, Merab thinks it's reset, throws a knee, and comes in with the straight right. Throws these shots at weird angles, fakes his way in, comes in at angles, shimmies left and right. That's what you had to do. If he was able to do that for the whole fight, you would have won, no question. I don't think Merab would be able to deal with it. And you could tell it hurt him, because look at his face, smiling. Sean O'Malley, it was up to you, man, to take that smirk out of his face, but you let it slide. Round 4, and this is why Sean O'Malley needs some level of takedown defense. I don't know what he does in his training camps, but come on, man, this is too basic. He just jumps in he just shoots in for a takedown, gets both of his legs immediately. Look at his body position. His legs are here, and his body's just like, come on, man. Grabs the back of his legs straight away, just kind of spears him. Got his hands locked and just easily takes him down and just controls him the whole fight. The whole round, sorry. Another clear round for Merab. Round 3, so far, we could argue round 1 could have gone either way, but I gave it to Sean. Round 3, I gave it to Merab because of what he done early on in the round, but I could see how Sean would have won that round 2. But round 4 and round 2, no question about it, Merab. And I think that's another reason why he won the fight, because he dominated in round 2 and round 4. And by Sean O'Malley's body language, he just didn't look like he was doing anything. You know what I mean? He just looked like he was just getting battered. And on first impression, when I first watched the fight, when I was watching the fight live, yeah, I thought he was getting destroyed. And I think he did lose, but I mean, yeah, that did he win round 1? Still there. I don't know innit? But yeah, round 5, same thing. Sean O'Malley, if he came in with a bit more activity, I feel like he could have won the round. He could have finished him. If there was some desperation, if there was some urgency in this round, yeah, he could have finished him, because you see Merab, he was just backing up. He didn't really want to engage. He just thought he won the round, so you know what? Let me just stay away from his striking, because he knew Sean O'Malley was going to come in hard, but he didn't. Came for a takedown. I think he stuffed that takedown, or did it? I think he did get him down. I can't remember, but I think he did get back up. But yeah, he was landing some decent shots. We saw some great movement, but it was just a little too late. He left it bit too late. He was landing these front kicks, landed on him twice, and clearly hurt him. Look how he's holding his stomach here. Clearly hurt him. He should have pounced on him there, man, but didn't. Let him off again. You see how Merab is even looking at the clock. There, he should have pounced on him. He had his chance and he didn't take it, so there's no one to blame other than himself. So the question still hasn't been answered. Was Sean O'Malley robbed like he claims? No, I don't think so. I think there's no way you could call this a robbery. Round 1 was very close, and it just depends how the judges want to score the fight. If they value grappling more, then it goes to Merab. If they value damage and striking more, then it goes to Sean. But all 3 judges did score the fight to Merab, so there you go. But the argument is still can be made. If you score the fight off damage alone, then Sean O'Malley won that first round. And if you give the round 3 and 5 like the judges did to Sean, then the argument could be made that he won the fight. But there's no way that you could call it a robbery in my book. Now, I think it was a very poor performance from Sean O'Malley. He did some things well, but there was a lot more that he could have done, and he had to. The way he fought in the 5th round, he had to do that for the entirety of the fight, not just for a few not for like 30 seconds here and there. Now, one thing that he did do, he kind of exposed the game plan if he was to fight Merab again. Is it going to happen anytime soon? Probably not. But what he has to do is not give Merab the opportunity to get takedowns. And it might, I mean, yeah, it's easier said than done, but he was showing instances, especially in the first round, where Merab couldn't really shoot in because of the angles that he was using. And also the body shots. You saw the body shots, they were very effective. Because when he's throwing these body shots, his center of gravity is already low. He's already ready to stuff these takedowns. And on top of the angles, his switching stances, they were working very well, because what it does, it just affects the timing by a little bit. But I think what let him down the most is his level of activity, especially in the fifth round. You see that he didn't really, I don't know if he was tired or what, but if he came out in that round hungry for the knockout, I think he could have got it. And if he was gonna do all three of these things for the whole 5 rounds, I think he could have won. It's easier said than done, I know, but I feel like he's got the game plan. If he wants to win next time, or if he goes against another wrestler next time, I think he's got what it takes to beat them. Now, what's next for O'Malley? Don't think he deserves a rematch with Merab for the title. I think he's got he only had one defense. He wasn't a dominant champion, and it wasn't really a close fight, depending on how you see it. But Umar, no, he's probably going to fight Merab next. Peter Yan, that would be a very interesting fight. I feel like Peter does definitely deserve a rematch. Sean O'Malley's improved since then, so I would love to see that fight. Peter Yan, Corey Sandhagen, another very interesting fight, a very technical fight, but I feel like Corey Sandhagen beats him. The other fight here, Song Yadong, don't know. Figueiredo, I don't know. One fight I do want to see for sure. Marlon Chitavera, no, I don't want to see that no more. Triple C, I want to see Sean O'Malley fight Henry Cejudo. There's a little bit of beef already there between them. And I want to see how he does against a wrestler now. After learning what he's learned from fighting Merab, I want to see how he deals with Cejudo. And that's a wrestler that he could beat. And that's a big name on his record, man. So I would love to see that fight, and the build up to a fight will be crazy as well. They already got beef going on between them, and I feel like he could prove to us that he could face a grappler and beat them, either out of Triple C or Peter Yan. Peter Yan definitely does deserve a rematch, but out of these two, I would love to see one of them. I'm edging towards Triple C just because of the banner that will come along with it. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Was Sean O'Malley robbed, and how do you think you performed that fight?